Hey guys, today I have a huge book outlet and thrift books unboxing for you guys of all of our back to school books. This is kind of my final shopping before the school year starts, and I am so excited to dive into this. I am not going to talk a lot because I've got so many books to show you, so let's get started. This is one that we got for my little ones. This is going to be one of their assigned readers, not so much for them to read themselves, but for me to read aloud to them to go along with our biblio plan. It is called Mercedes and the Chocolate Pilot, the true story of the Berlin airlift and the candy that was dropped there. Next up is the similar one. This is also for our biblio plan, and it is The Cat Who Walked Across France. This is a great story about a cat and his owner and how much they love one another, but unfortunately over time she passes away. And so the cat is then sent along with all of the belongings across the area and is seeking to find its way home. So this is the fun story of the cat's journey to trying to come back home, walking across France, and just a great heartwarming story. This is a great one I'm excited about. Diego Rivera and His World and Ours. So this follows the famous artist Diego Rivera as a child and following how he grew up, how he came to draw murals to be the great artist that he became. One of my middle school assigned readers that I have for my kids is The Giver. I have actually never personally read this one, but this one was highly recommended by my friends over at Made to Homeschool, an online community for you guys, by moms, for moms, that has exclusive content and fun opportunities for you to connect with your favorite online homeschool content creators. They were all recommending. This one was recommended over and over again as one I should assign for my middle schoolers, so of course I grabbed a copy. The Hour of the Bees is one that I grabbed for our read-alouds next year. This is about a 12-year-old little girl who is helping her family move her grandfather into a home because he has dementia, and it's all about her journey and understanding and falling in love with her grandfather and getting to know him more and the struggles and the blessings that come along with this kind of thing. Another one that is assigned for my younger ones to read is A Bear For Miguel. One of my middle school readers, another one is Hidden Figures. This one, I know many of you guys have probably seen the movie. I actually have not, but this is one that I have assigned for my middle school readers, and I know that they're going to love it, especially my daughter. If you lived 100 years ago, this was another one that was recommended by Biblio Plan and just looked like a fun one that I will read aloud to my younger kiddos. Next one is The Empty Pot. This was also recommended by our history. And this one is a very interesting one about a Chinese emperor who decides to take a rather unconventional way to find his successor. He gives each kid in the village a thing of seeds, and then whoever can grow the best thing or do the best thing with the seeds is going to become the emperor. So this little boy is giving it a shot. This is another one we're going to be reading next year, Going Someplace Special. This is about a little girl who is going on the bus for the first time, is going on an adventure, and she sees a lot of injustices. As this takes place in 1950s, she sees that she has to sit in different places and that she is not treated the same, but she remembers her grandmother's words that she is a human being, that she is important, that she is special. And she is reminded all throughout the story that she is not alone and what the actual truth is. I think this will be a great one as a jumping off point for my kids to talk about the lies that we hear, but filtering through those and finding the truth. Next up is Silent Music, A Story of Baghdad. This is about a young boy who loves playing soccer, he loves loud music, but he also loves the art of calligraphy. So this is going through and looking at different aspects of calligraphy and talking about him practicing this and some of the hardships that are going on in Baghdad during that time. Since my older kids are going to be reading Hidden Figures, I wanted to get the picture book of Hidden Figures so that my younger ones could follow along with the story. I love being able to tie in those things for the older ones and the younger ones at an age appropriate level whenever possible. Next up is Paper Son. I have not read this one myself, but I'm excited. I've heard this one recommended by many people. It's about a boy who comes over to the US and pretends to be the son of a family currently living there. He has to go through a pretty rigorous test to pass off as a paper son. And so this is his story. And I think it'll be a great look into the life of those who immigrated over. This takes place in like 1926. Next up is our books from Book Outlet. Book Outlet is a company where you can get discounted brand new books for your family. And I was so excited when I went on there recently to find several of the books that I was already planning to buy for my kids at a super discounted price. So one of the things that we love to use with our IEW is this desk dictionary and thesaurus. It is a nice thick hardback copy of both the dictionary and thesaurus. It's very easy to read. You've got the dictionary up top, the thesaurus down on the bottom. And I buy each of my kids their very first year of going into Fix-It Grammar. I buy them their own copy. So my two older ones already have one, but my son is getting ready to join in. So I wanted to get him his copy, and this was much, much cheaper than buying it on Amazon. Next year, I am teaching a homeschool co-op class called Me on a Map, which is based off of this book here that you'll see. And so I grabbed this copy of Me and My Family Tree as I thought that would be a fun addition to that unit study as well. Next up is Mapping Penny's World. This is also going to go along with that geography unit that I am teaching for co-op. And this one just looked like a really fun one. It talks about things that you include on a map, how to use maps, whether it's of your bedroom or of the world. We've got Who Was and Frank. You guys know I absolutely love these. And as one of our read-alouds this year, we're doing the Vanderbeekers of 141st Street. This will be our Christmas read-aloud. There are 25 chapters, so we'll read one chapter a day leading up to Christmas time. I was so excited to find this. This is a huge collection of these fun Jeep stories. So I grew up on these sheep in a Jeep stories. I had no idea they had this many of them, but this is a fun collection, and it is the 5-minute stories. These should actually take about 5 minutes, unlike some of the other ones in this collection of 5-minute stories that actually take closer to 15 minutes or more. Oh my goodness, I had no idea this was gonna be leather bound. Okay, so one of my mom's favorite devotionals is the New Morning Mercies by Paul Tripp. And so they had one that was a journaling one. And so I wasn't sure what that meant exactly, but it looks like it is a leather bound one. And then it gives you lots of room to be able to journal and write, to highlight, to write in those passages. And they had it really, really cheap. So I grabbed a copy for myself. Also, a Paul Tripp classic is the marriage book, 6 Gospel Commitments Every Couple Needs to Make. This is one I've been wanting to read, and they had it for about $8. Here's the Me on the Map book that I will be using for that unit study. I was able to get this one in hardback, so I'm excited about that. This one is A Dream of Flight, Alberto Santos Dumontos, Race Around the Eiffel Tower. This is based on a true story. Next up is Bones. This is just a step 2 reader that I thought would be good for my younger ones. Almost done. This is the last box here. This is Breaking Stalin's Nose. I don't know much about it, but it was recommended by Biblioplan and it looked very interesting. It looks like it has pictures along with it, and it definitely looked like one that my middle school boys would enjoy reading. We've got the Orphan Train Sisters. This again, it goes along with a historical time frame that we'll be reading about next year and will be one of my middle schoolers' assigned readers. A Long Walk to Water, which will also be one of the readers. I didn't realize how short it is, so that'll be a nice, easier read for them. Who Were Stanley and Livingston? What Was the Titanic? Although now that I'm opening this, I'm thinking I probably already ordered this. It's okay. If I did, I'll just give it to Wendy at Plan Prep Pray. This is one of the picture books for my younger ones for next year, All in a Day. This is a New York bestseller, and it looks like a beautifully done book. Chicken Sunday. It is about a group of children who want to buy a hat for their dear friend, but they're actually accused in the process of trying to earn the money for that hat of egging Mr. Kadunski's store. So this story is about them working to try and earn the money to buy this hat for their beloved friend while trying to prove their innocence. Dandelions is a great story about a family that comes to Nebraska in the 1800s and about their journey of setting up their homestead. The Josephina Story Quilt is one that my daughter will read next year. A Weed is a Flower. This is the life of George Washington Carver. This is really fun because we recently, well, not recently, but last year got to go see the George Washington Carver Museum here in Kansas. And so that'll be fun to kind of connect those dots. Dancing Hands, How Teresa Carano, I'm probably saying that wrong, played the piano for President Lincoln. Deanna's White House Garden, about a girl who created a victory garden in her own backyard. Joseph Had a Little Overcoat, which is one of the ones that our history curriculum called for. And last but not least, The Lotus Seed. This one has gorgeous illustrations and is a great story that I can't wait to dive into. I know that is a ton of books. When I said a huge haul, I meant it. Let me know down in the comments which one are you most excited about, and be sure to subscribe for more great videos as we get ready to set up for back to school. Talk to you guys later. Bye.